In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 7 books that you should read if you want to make money online in 2019. And what's really special about these books is that I didn't just pick these books at random. These are books that I personally have read and which have really influenced my online journey. I would say maybe this set of 7 books have influenced my online business journey the most. And so I talk out of experience. I think that if you can even get one idea out of each of the books I'm about to mention and implement them in your business, that you will see a huge change come December 31st, 2019. And if you're new to this channel, on this channel, I give you tips, resources, and strategies on how you can make a living with your writing. I also talk about my own journey into online business. And so if that sounds like something that you can jive with, please consider joining our community by subscribing. The first book I'll talk about is Will It Fly by Pat Flynn. And Will It Fly is such a good book, especially if you don't want to waste time and money on testing a business idea. Personally, I don't think that making money online requires for you to reinvent the wheel, but it does require for you to be creative and for you to test to see if people are going to buy what you have to offer. It's important for you to make sure that people are voting. I heard this a long time ago. People are voting with their wallets and not just with their mouths. And I think Will It Fly is a really, really good book if you want to think about an online business and you want to learn how you can test that business to make sure it's a viable business before you get started with it. Book number 2 is Your Best Year Ever by Michael Hyatt. And I love this particular book because I actually picked it up at the beginning of 2018. Actually, I checked my Amazon just before I did this video and it said I did buy it on January 2nd, 2018. And I read that book and it was really, really instrumental in helping me set goals for my year. If you followed along with my story this year on social media or even here on YouTube, you know that somewhere at the beginning of the year, I was told that I was being let go from my job, but because I had set goals for the rest of the year, even though I went through, a trying time personally and even in my business, I was not derailed from my goals a whole lot because I had set those goals and there were things I was doing every day to make sure I met those goals. And so I think that if you really want to master the art of goal setting and setting sustainable goals, because some of us pick goals that we can't really achieve, but if you set goals that you can achieve or goals that are sustainable, you have to challenge yourself with your goals. I mean, come on. But when it comes down to it, your goals have to be sustainable. And if you want a book that helps you think about sustainable goals, then I think Your Best Year Ever really is a good book for that. The next book on my list, which I absolutely think you should read this year, is Buy Buttons by Nick Loper. And I'm going to leave the links to all of these books below in the description. So if you want to check them out, just click through to check those books out. Now, the reason why I love Buy Buttons is because Nick Loper, who is the author of the book, shares 300 plus different ways to make money in your spare time, to make money as a side hustle, to make money even something that you can start as a side hustle and then eventually turn into the main hustle. And I think that, if you're really, really struggling to come up with an idea to make money with, there really is no reason, once again, to reinvent the wheel, right? What you need to think about is, how can I take one of these businesses and capitalize on that and build that and add my own unique twist to that? I think one of the businesses in there that I really enjoyed was this one where this lady in San Francisco was walking people and made, I think, $40,000 a year doing that. Walking people, okay? Taking them on hiking tours. Hello, and it was her side hustle. So there's nothing like a crazy business idea. And I think that, within those 300 business ideas, there's something that you will find that will jive with you, that will make you a lot of money in the coming year. Okay, so book number 4 is How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I think this book is a classic. It's by Dale Carnegie. It's a classic, and really how to influence people and how to get people to follow you and your ideas. Believe it or not, anybody that is doing YouTube or Instagram and has a lot of followers usually actually is employing a lot of the principles that Dale shares in his book, which has been around for almost 100 years now, if not 100 years already. And so if you really want to start building a following on social media, following with your blog, a following here on YouTube, I think that How to Win Friends and Influence People is an amazing book for you to pick up and read. Number 5 is Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. And I think that book is great if you really want to learn how to build anything just using pure hustle. Now, I may do a video on pure hustle and the pros and cons of it, because you can't always hustle your way through things. There's a time for hustle and there's a time where you don't have to hustle, else you're going to run yourself into the ground. But I think this book is great for those of you that are just starting out. Like if you're just starting out on any platform, on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever, I think it's good for you to read this book, because it's going to teach you how to treat the very few people that are maybe following you right now, right? Not all of us will build like 1 million followers on Instagram, or even 1 million subscribers here on YouTube. But even if you have 50 subscribers, even if you have 100 subscribers, it's important for you to treat them well. It's important for you to build a relationship. And actually, sometimes when it's small like that, that gives you an opportunity to build a one-on-one relationship with most of the people that are following you at the very, very beginning. That's something you cannot do once you reach 1 million subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. And so I think that Jab, 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 Right Hook is such a great book for learning how to hustle your way, especially in the beginning, and building those relationships where you're giving, and eventually those people become your rabid fan base that ultimately promotes you. So I think that Jab, 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 Right Hook is I'm saying it so fast. So I think that this book, let me just say that this book by Gary Vaynerchuk is great if you're just starting out and you really want to get into that mindset of what do I need to do when people start following me, and how you can build that relationship to a place where these people become rabid fans. Number 6 is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And the reason I love this book is because after reading this book, I set up my very first $1,000 emergency fund. Prior to that, I never set up an emergency fund. I knew I had to set one up, but I didn't until I read this book. And one of the strengths of this book is that it shows you the power of how little things or little habits can lead to big results. A lot of us think that in order to win, a marathon, people just get up one day and start running 13 miles or 26 miles or however long a marathon is. Truth, however, is that most people who run a marathon started out small. They started out maybe running 1 mile, and then they built that up to 2 miles. And then eventually they were able to build that up to that long distance running habit that they currently have. And so I think that if you're just starting out, or if you really want to make money in 2019, one of the things that you have to realize is that the things you do every day, they matter. The behaviors and habits and little things, they all add up to the big things. And so if you neglect those little things, you may find that you never achieve your goals because you never build those little things that lead up to the big thing. And so The Slight Edge really gave me a great insight into how important it is to build habits, to do little things every day, and how those little things eventually add up to the big picture. Last but not least, for all my writers out there, Write, Publish, Repeat by Johnny B. Truant and Sean Platt is a must read if you're planning to make money with your writing. Just point blank, I'm not even going to talk too much, just go read the book. All right, guys, so that is all I have for you. 7 books that have made the most impact on my business. over the last 4 or 5 years. I think that if you read these books and you implement the ideas in them, you will make money in 2019, no doubt. And so please go ahead and read those books. And if there are any other books that have impacted you as a solopreneur, as a freelancer, as a writer, please let me know also in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.